Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving headfirst into the world of AI-powered YouTube Shorts. We're going to break down exactly how creators are tapping into that massive US market, often with content that's surprisingly simple to make. So, let's start with the big question, right? You'd think you'd need a huge budget, a fancy studio, the whole shebang. But what if I told you that you could get massive reach and actually make good money with just a few easy-to-use AI tools? Well, that's exactly what we're going to unpack today. And just look at this number, $2,200. And listen, this isn't some made-up hypothetical figure. This is the estimated monthly income of just one of these AI-powered Shorts channels. They pulled this in from 22 million views in their very first month. That's the kind of potential we're talking about, and it's way more achievable than you might think. So here's how we're going to break it all down. We'll start with why this is such a huge opportunity, the Shorts gold rush. Then we'll crack the code these channels are using to go viral. We'll dive into two super powerful niche categories, reveal the secret tools and tricks they use to actually make money, and then we'll wrap it all up with the blueprint for your own channel. Okay, first things first, let's just set the stage. We are smack in the middle of a YouTube Shorts gold rush. I mean, the platform is pushing this stuff like crazy, and audiences in those really valuable markets like the US, Canada, and Europe are just eating it up. And that creates this massive, wide-open opportunity for new creators to jump in. Now, what's so fascinating is that the channels blowing up right now aren't just getting lucky. They're not one-hit wonders. They're actually following a simple, repeatable formula, a blueprint, really. It's all about building a content machine that consistently pumps out videos that the algorithm absolutely loves. And honestly, the whole production process really just boils down to these 4 simple steps. You start with an idea or a script, then you create the visuals for it. You animate those visuals to bring them to life, and finally, you add a nice, clean AI voiceover. That's it. It's like having your own little content factory. And these are the tools of the trade. Seriously, you don't need dozens of complicated programs. You just need a language model like ChatGPT to help you with scripts, a visual tool like Vizsla to generate your scenes, something like Meta's V3G to animate them, and then a great voice AI like 11 Labs to narrate. That's the core toolkit. All right, let's get into the good stuff. Our first big niche category is all about, well, the human condition. This stuff taps into psychology, social situations, and those super relatable moments in life that just connect with people on a really personal level. Okay, a perfect example of this is a channel called Decoded Logic. They use these incredibly simple 3D stick figures to act out these common social scenarios, and the results are pretty explosive. So what's the secret sauce here? It's that it's universally relatable. They're covering things like being late for class or telling a really bad joke. And by keeping the visuals so simple, it lets you, the viewer, project yourself right into the story. It creates this powerful connection that just works, whether it's on YouTube, TikTok, or Instagram. And the numbers? They're just wow. I mean, check this out. In its very first month, with only 15 videos, this channel exploded to 44,000 subscribers and pulled in an insane 22 million views. That is the power of hitting a nerve with relatable content. Okay, let's look at another one. This channel, Skyvibe, takes a kind of similar approach, but they really zero in on the emotional side of these situations. And in doing that, they found a really powerful way to connect with viewers. So Skyvibe really leans into those universal feelings, embarrassment, loneliness, dealing with bullies. These are core human experiences that go beyond culture, which is exactly why this kind of content does so well with English-speaking audiences all over the world. It taps into memories and emotions we have all felt. And you can see how this consistency pays off. By really sticking to this theme, they've built this amazing community of almost 100,000 subscribers, and they reliably pull in 12 million views every single month. It just goes to show, if you find a powerful emotional niche, you can really own it. Okay, so switching gears a bit, let's talk about a totally different but just as powerful kind of niche, taking really big, complicated ideas and making them super simple and, well, fun to understand. And I gotta say, I love this next example. It's a channel called Monkey Economics. Yeah, it sounds a little goofy, but it is brilliant. It uses cartoon monkeys to explain the super complex world of finance, from the stock market to big economic theories. Now, this strategy is genius for a couple of reasons. First, it takes a subject that's usually kind of boring or intimidating and makes it fun and easy to get. But second, Because it's in that finance and education space, the payout per view, the RPM, is way, way higher. I mean, we're talking a potential for over $300 for every million views. That's huge. And no surprise, the audience is loving it. With less than 70 videos, the channel has already pulled in over 220,000 subscribers who are actually excited to learn about economics from cartoon monkeys. It's just proof that a creative angle can unlock massive growth in pretty much any niche. All right, so we've seen the fun stuff, the viral ideas, but I know what you're thinking. There are two huge questions, right? How do these channels actually get monetized without YouTube shutting them down? And how on earth do they afford all the tools? Let's pull back the curtain on the two secrets that make this all work. This is probably the #1 question I get, the biggest fear for anyone trying this. And look, it's a fair question. YouTube has updated its policies, and they've been pretty clear that purely automated, low-effort AI stuff is at risk. But here's the thing. There's a really important distinction to make. The key, the absolute secret, is adding what YouTube calls human value. This is the real secret sauce. It means you're not just hitting generate and uploading what the AI spits out. No, you're the director here. You're adding your own creative flair, custom text, unique editing, captions, maybe some cool background music. You're transforming the content, and that makes it totally monetizable. And that brings us to the second big secret. How do you actually afford all this stuff? I mean, if you were to pay the retail price for all these premium AI tools, you could be looking at hundreds of dollars a month. But smart creators don't do that. They use these trusted tool providers who buy a ton of subscriptions in bulk and then resell access for just a tiny fraction of the cost. We're talking up to 90% off. It makes the whole operation incredibly affordable. So there you have it. We've laid it all out on the table. We've walked through this simple 4-step formula, we've explored these high-potential niches that connect with people, and we've uncovered the real secrets to making it profitable and affordable. The whole blueprint is right in front of you. You know, the tools have never been easier to use, the audience is definitely out there waiting, and the formula for success is crystal clear. So the only real question left is, what are you going to create? What stories are you